Today is September 4th, 2023, and I'm going to give you my prediction for the next 14 months. If you want to see how accurate my predictions have been, see my pinned post where I predicted exactly where we would be in the economy right now. Now, the way that I do my predictions are by going deep into the past. Anybody who goes deep into the past can start to see patterns in human behavior, economically, socio-geopolitical, power structures, war narratives. They happen over and over again in human history. Now, the one we're about to go through in the next 14 months, I'm going to explain to you is just my opinion. It's not financial advice. Don't make any financial moves based on what I'm saying. This is my platform. I'm just expressing my journey so I can go back and look at my documentation of what I believed was going to happen and what moves I made to free my family. Now, you'll see through my videos, I'm about peace, prosperity, high frequency, and love. But what you're about to experience in the next 14 months, you will never experience. My kids' won't experience. In my opinion, this radical transformation we're about to go through. So I explained to you in Q3, Q4, 2024, we're going to see a big pullback on the capital markets, which we're heading into now in September. And we have 14 months until the presidential election. Pay attention. So now we're starting to see the C word creep back in. And we have many schools now in 5 states in America that are now pushing back into this agenda. Now just take your bias lens off and go completely unbiased with this. So we have, let's just call them 2 parties, 2 things that are on 2 ends of the spectrum. Dark, light, up, down. This has happened in human history over and over again. I'm trying to get everybody on both sides to look at this from an unbiased lens. And whatever you believe, you're right. But the problem is believing in man and not God. So what you're about to see is a massive separation in the population, specifically in America. Now, if you follow it from a macroeconomic view, macro, microeconomic, we're in number 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, which is civil war and global war, which changes the whole monetary system and the way we do everything. And that's based on Ray Dalio's Changing World Orders, a study of 500-year patterns. And it's to the T. So you can go fight an invisible enemy. You go out in the streets and protest, but you're not going to change the transition. So now what we're heading into is you're going to see massive lockdowns once again. And you're going to see the other side that's campaigning saying don't comply. So what this does to humanity is it creates a massive separation, which creates civil war within an organization or within a corporation, which is America. And you're going to start to see everybody turn against each other. And just like the Roman days, when everybody's turning against each other, the Trojan horse comes in. But if you really study the Roman days, you're going to see exactly what's happening in America, that years before that, they started to demasculize the men, and they started to make them sloppy and lazy, and they couldn't even fight back. So what you're going to see in the next 14 months is Americans going against Americans. You're going to see a global collapse in the monetary system. You're going to see people who have worked their whole lives to build their retirement, getting ready to retire, have to go back to work if they can. You're going to see the middle class get wiped out, leverage towards technology, moving down to the working poor. There's going to be a massive separation in between the wealthy and the impoverished. The middle class American dream of industrial area is going to die off. You're going to see depression shoot through the roof, alcoholism shoot through the roof, opiate abuse shoot through the roof. Something that's near and dear to my heart that I suffered from 17 years ago is suicide going through the roof. So what should you do? I don't know if this will work for you, but this is what I'm doing. I'm not fighting an invisible enemy. I built a really strong relationship with God. I don't go to a specific church. I have a relationship with God. I spend every morning, every night praying to God. I've built family structure with my family. I've developed principles. For my businesses, it's integrity, honesty, and uncompromising belief in God. I built ecosystems and my own businesses that I can talk about my faith. Number 2, for my family, it's peace, freedom, and family structure. If anything disrupts my peace, freedom, or family structure, it's a hard no for me. I built my own ecosystem and I invested in digital currencies as a speculative asset, which has radically transformed my family's wealth timeline. At the same time that I've done that, I've watched these economic battles going back and forth, and I stopped fighting an invisible enemy, and I noticed that this is all part of a bigger picture. And so based on that bigger picture, I'm here to tell you, and it's happening, that you're going to see a massive separation between the awakened and the non-awakened. Let's call it this way. Religious people call it the rapture. The white horse comes down, takes the Christians up, and the non-believers stay down. Awakened people like me see the awakened people who can see it for what it is, and the people who are stuck in the matrix, which in the Bible, do your research. The Bible's It's in the matrix. The matrix is the Bible. You're the womb, the woman, the matrix. So you're born into the matrix to battle your way out, to transmute chaos into light. So what you're going to see is one side that's campaigning is going to say, don't comply, don't comply, don't comply. The other side is going to force you to comply. And that's where the separation comes. Boom! And so when you're focused on not complying and complying, you lose sight of your family, your peace, and your freedom. So what I would do the next 14 months is I would work on my ether, which is my nervous system. I would get a fasting protocol in, nutritious foods, meditating, high-intensity training. I'd build a relationship with God, some sort of spiritual foundation. I'd come up with family structure and principles for my family. And I'd start to study the new monetary system, and I would stop frivolous spending, and I'd put my money in the new monetary system in some areas. Because you're going to be operating on it, even though you're complaining about it. And then what I would do is diversify. I'm just telling you exactly what I'm doing. I would diversify out of that one speculative asset, and I'd build a foundation just in case one falls. So I use things like Index Universal Life for protection, compounding, growing, tax code 7702. It's what the wealthy do. Why wouldn't you do it? There's a reason why your banks don't teach you tax code 7702. They give you life insurance, but not wealth insurance. Number three, is business. I've diversified in business. I've used TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, this digital world to build ecosystems. We diversified across intention, information, and technology. Then real estate. We're going to be heading deeper into real estate in 2024, going into 2025. Precious metals, and most of all, self-development. We're not fighting an invisible enemy. We're not protesting. We're fighting ourselves. We're transmuting the darkness inside of ourselves into light. And by doing that, in the chaotic world that we see outside, it's not chaotic inside. And once I stopped fighting an invisible enemy, I freed my family over the past 4 to 5 years. And now what I believe is we're heading into the generational wealth building cycle. So you have two choices. You keep fighting against man, or you can understand it's the man in the mirror, or the woman in the mirror. And they don't want you to see that. They want you waiting for a visible enemy or a savior to come. And they want you thinking that in 2024, your whole life is going to change when somebody else comes back or another person stays, whatever it is. But I'm here to tell you, if you don't fix the ether, you don't fix the foundation, we will always be a divided nation. We are one under God. We are love. We are conscious beings having a human experience, working to transmute our darkness into light. And that's what Jesus was teaching us to do. He wasn't teaching us about religion. Religion is connection to self. He was teaching us how to reconnect, how to take care of our own monetary system, how to take our own sovereignty, and to stop waiting for a savior or man to save you. So I hope this information reaches you well. So the next 14 months are going to get really bumpy. There's going to be comply versus don't comply. They're going to get you to protest about things you never protested before. But understand, the protest is against you. Love you guys. Warriors! Get your shit together. Remember, I will never proactively DM you. That's not me communicating with you in the comments or proactively DMing you. Those are all scammers. We have an education platform, which is in my social media profiles at 3T Warrior Academy. It's not an investment platform. I also have an insurance company. I'm a licensed insurance agent. We have licensed insurance agents in all 50 states with tax code 7702. We teach people tax-free retirement. Or if you're concerned about your 401k, you have a free conversation with my team. We can share with you some of the tools we use to secure, compound, and most of all, protect our principal during these times. Love you guys.